objective of this event, you see, we look at the men's health issues as well that are very, very important. We take into considerations. You talk about masculinity, you talk about male ego and toxic masculinity. We need to address all these issues so that men can become supportive and caring and compassionate people in the world.
Yeah.
Not what we see today. Yeah, that's what we are celebrating for this International Men's Day, 2026 January, this year.
Before we dive deeper into that, I mean, this year's theme focuses on the role of the media. Just from your perspective, how are men and boys really portrayed in the media, and how does this really affect them or the society rather?
Yeah, definitely. That's why we came up with this theme. It's very, very important to also to engage the media practitioners across the world. Yeah, because if you look at how the media portrays men, is something which, there are pictures, most media, they portray men as in a negative way. Yeah, I see as perpetrators, you see, of violence. But there are men around the globe who are doing positive things that we don't hear of them doing the holy thing. So that's the reason why we came up with this thing for this year, that the media should portray men and to go and see what men are doing. They're doing wonderful things. They're good men, that are doing wonderful job, that want to change the whole narrative of this issue of gender-based violence in the country.
Absolutely. Just in addition to that, Mr. Charles, just talk to us perhaps about some of the stereotypes associated perhaps when it comes to masculinity and how men are portrayed in society, and how this challenging stereotypes, or harmful stereotypes rather, can affect men and the actions.
Well, one other thing is if you look at a stigma in reporting the cases of gender-based violence, whereby most of our men will die in silence.
Yeah.
Because, for them they feel, well, if I go to report there, am I going to be believed? Yeah, or sometimes when they want to go and report the cases, sometimes things turns around to them and see they are the perpetrators. You get the point now there. So this is one of the narrative things that we want to change for this year, that let the media also report cases that there are men around the country that are reporting gender-based violence that have been affected, and they are reporting all the things. As much as we want, gender-based violence is affecting each and everyone, all genders affected, including men. But less is done in men. They are, it's like when you look at most of the programs, men have been neglected in this part, but are the people that we want to put on board, to bring on board on gender-based violence. So that's the reason why that the media must stand up and start now portraying men in a negative way.
In a positive way.
In a positive way. Thank you so much for the correction. In a positive way, not about the negative part that we see at all times, that only perpetrators of violence at all times, which is not a good thing. That's not also even put a good picture in us men. We know that there are men who are doing good things, men who are caring, men who are supportive today.
But are there currently any examples of positive male role models being portrayed in the Namibian media, and perhaps how their stories can be amplified?
Yes, we have so many of them. As I know, with the collaboration with the NBC, we used to see a lot of men are coming up, religious men, traditional men. They are there, but the only thing that their voice is not so much powerful. We need to see them more, especially our traditional leaders, and they need to come up with a very, very, very strong voice. Yeah, we have them, but they are only few. And the other thing also, you can say the media is not reaching them. That's why we are saying let the media also reach out to these men wherever they are, those who are doing well in our society.
And you also highlighted the aspect of inclusive storytelling about men and boys in Namibia. Just break it down for us.
Well, you see, men and boys at most times, look at the programs that are running out, we do not have many platforms for the boys and the men in the country. Yeah, you see. We in the White Ribbon Campaign Namibia, we support the empowerment of women. I'm one of the advocates that supported women, standing with the women for more than 20 years right now, Silmer. Yeah, and at the same time, we looked at there is a neglect in the men and boys program. So therefore, we are encouraging our women and men across the country to begin to see how to engage men, to let them report the cases that are affecting them in their day-to-day life.
What do you think, what would you attribute the fact that now there's much focus on women empowerment and the boy child is perhaps being left behind? Why so much focus now on women than men? What do you think triggered that gap?
Well, I don't see there's a problem for focusing on women.
Absolutely not.
There is no way I can say there's nothing wrong with that. in focusing on women. Women were behind. Our mothers, our sisters, our daughters were behind. And I'm proud for where they are today. But if you look at now, men are declining. Men are nowhere to be found. Men are now indulging themselves in things that are not even good today. So their health matters as well. So if we don't address them, we are going nowhere. Because empowering women and girls is not saying, well, we should leave men behind. Yeah, I see it's of paramount importance to engage them as well. Yeah, to talk about their masculinity, like we said earlier, that is, it's not how far you can punch, it's about how far you can talk and building healthy relationship with your partner.
And very often we see violence, associated and crime rather associated and being committed rather by men. Would you say that that has to do with their perhaps masculinity or their mental health? What would you attribute to that?
We see a lot of violence against other men. It's so happening around the globe, around the country as well. That also need to be addressed. That's the reason why we talk about that. This very theme for this year and also the International Men's Day looks at all these issues. That how best can we bring men on board to talk about, to come up with a solution, amicable solutions about their health matters, about things that are concerning them, such as reporting gender-based violence. Because if you look at worldwide reports across the globe, says 1 in 3 women, men are also they face physical violence, neglect, financial exploitation. Yeah, men are going through all these things, so we need to address them as well. We should not be silent about all these issues. As much as we have support for women, we need also to have a support for men as well, engage them as well on social ills such as gender-based violence in the country. Selma, how about you?
Absolutely, and that is why we have events such as this. Perhaps just talk to us then about the event that you'll be hosting. What does it entail? What activities can people also just expect?
Well, the event that we'll be engaging, most times we'll be engaging with the media practitioners across the country. The print media, the radio, and many others. We'll be engaging them, having some discussion around the role of the media and how they portray men to hear from their side. And at the same time, also, the White Ribbon will be hosting a workshop on men to find a amicable solution to gender-based violence that is affecting both of us, men and women. So there are a lot of programs that are lined up for men in this country. Yeah, in Namibia, some of them will be done online, some of them will be face-to-face with the men. We'll be holding some community, what you call these dialogues with men, talking to men about what makes you not to report the cases of physical abuse. Yeah, what makes you to be afraid of all these things, What makes you not to go and report the cases? Because we live in silence now, so how can we break this silence? How can we break this stigma that we are attached to it by saying we are men? Those egos, men must not cry, men must be tough, men must be louder. So we need to break all these barriers, and put men to be part of the solution. They feel pain as well, we are going through. But because we are challenged by this society that has imprisoned us men, like the things I mentioned, as a man you have to be tough, to be louder, to be aggressive towards others and towards yourself, which is not healthy. So during this International Men's Day, we are addressing these social issues for men around them. But they should seek help when necessary. They should reach out to their friends and family members. They should also consult the White Ribbon Campaign. We are there as well to help them. So the White Ribbon Campaign Namibia is an organization or a movement for men because we care what happens in the lives of men. That's why the International Men's Day, in partnership with our partners around the globe, such as the Voice of Men 360, we are partnering together with them and many others. So during on Saturday this week, the 31st of January, across the globe, we'll be celebrating all these things.
And in Namibia, where exactly will that be taking place?
In Namibia, here to be within Okodiangaba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at our office there, we will inform the public by today, not just by the afternoon, where the event will take place. So if there is any man that feels, well, I need to contribute something to other men, to talk about these issues. If there are men around the country here that feel that, well, there is a need indeed to involve men, to engage men, or to bring men on board. We too are affected. Let's not be silenced. We need support. And this is a time when the White Ribbon Campaign in Namibia is there for you.